Hello everyone, you're welcome to solve this nice exponential equation, which is x minus 2 to power 6. This is equal to 6 to power 6. So what are the values of x? Now, solution from here. The first thing to do here, let's take 6 to power 6 on the left hand side, so that we'll have x minus 2 to power 6, subtract 6 to power 6. This is equal to 0. The next step from here, we can express x minus 2 to power 6 as x minus 2 to power 3, then raised to power 2, subtract 6 to power 6 can be expressed as 6 to power 3, raised to power 2, this is equal to 0. Now, this equation is in the form of a squared minus b squared, which you can express as a plus b, a minus b. From what we have here, a is equal to x minus 2 raised to power 3, and b is essentially equal to 6 to power 3. So this implies that a plus b, this is the same thing as x minus 2 to power 3 plus 6 to power 3. This is equal to 0. Let's call this equation 1. We have a minus b. This is the same thing as x minus 2 to power 3. Subtract 6 to power 3. This is equal to 0. Let's call this equation 2. Now, let's solve equation 1. We can call this one case 1. Let's start with case 1 here, which is x minus 2 to power 3. Subtract 6 to power 3. This is equal to 0. Now, this is actually in the form of a to power 3 minus b to power 3, which is the difference of two cubes, which you can express as a minus b. Then here we'll have a squared plus ab plus b squared. So actually we have solved a minus b here, which is case 2. So substituting here, we'll have x minus 2 subtract 6. Then here we'll have x minus 2 squared, then plus 6 times x minus 2, then plus 6 squared, which is 36. This is equal to 0. So here we'll have x subtract 8. And then here we have x minus 2 squared. And this is the same thing as x squared. Subtract 4x plus negative 2 squared, which is 4. Then plus 6 times x, this is 6x. Subtract 6 times minus 2, this is 12. Plus 36. This is equal to 0. Now, the next step here, we have x minus 8. Here we have x squared. We have minus 4x plus 6x. Now, this is the same thing as plus 2x. Now, we have 4. Subtract 12. This is minus 8. Then minus 8 plus 36. This is essentially equal to plus 28. And this is equal to 0. Now, the next step from here, we have two parts here. We have x minus 8. This is equal to 0. And we have the second part, which is x to power 2 plus 2x plus 28. This is equal to 0. So this implies here the first value of x, that is x1, is equal to 8. This is the first real solution that we have. And let's solve for the other values of x in this quadratic equation. Remember, this quadratic equation is in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c. This is equal to 0. So this implies that the value of a is equal to 1, the value of b is equal to 2, and the value of c is equal to 28. The next step here, to solve for the values of x2 and x3, we apply the quadratic formula, that is minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c, all this divided by 2 times a. So let's apply this formula. So now applying this quadratic formula, let's substitute the value of a, b, and c. So here we'll have minus 2 plus or minus the square root of b squared, which is 4, subtract 4 times 1 times 28, all this divided by 2. So here we have, this is minus 2 plus or minus, we have 4 subtract, this is 4, subtract, now 4 times, 28 times 4, this is the same thing as 112, divided by 2. So here we'll have negative 2 plus or minus the square root of 4 minus 112, this is minus 108 divided by 2. So here we'll have minus 2 plus or minus the square root of, we can express minus 108 as 36 times 3 times minus 1 divided by 2. So essentially here we'll have minus 2 plus or minus the square root of, now here we'll have the square root of 3 multiplied by the square root of 36, this is 6, the square root of minus 1, this is I, then divided by 2. So this is the same thing as minus 2 plus or minus 6i square root of 3 divided by 2. So we can be able to factor out 2 here, so that we'll have 2 into the bracket here, minus 1 plus or minus, that is, we can have 3i, this is the same thing as 3i square root of 3 divided by 2. So if we simplify here, we will have x2, x3, this is equal to negative 1 plus or minus 3i square root of 3. So this implies that x2 is equal to minus 1 plus 3i square root of 3, and x3 is equal to minus 1 minus 3i square root of 3. So this is x2 and x3. These are two complex solutions. So let's solve case 2 here. Let's solve case 2. For case 2, we have x minus 2 to power 3 plus 6 to power 3. This is equal to 0. Now this is actually in the form of a to power 3 plus b to power 3, the sum of two cubes, which we can express as a plus b. A squared subtract a times b plus b squared. So now here we have x minus 2 plus 6, and then here we have x minus 2 squared. Now subtract, we have 6 times x minus 2, then plus 6 squared, which is 36, close the bracket here, this is equal to 0. Now we'll have x minus 2 plus 6, this is plus 4. And then you will have x squared, subtract 4x plus negative 2 squared, this is 4. Then subtract negative 6 times x, this is minus 6x. Then plus, we have minus 6 times minus 2, this is plus 12. Then plus 36, this is equal to 0. So we have two parts here. The first part is x plus 4, this is equal to 0. The second part here we have x squared, we have minus 4x minus 6x, this is minus 10x. And then we have 4 plus 12, this is actually equal to 16. Then we have 36 plus 16. We have 36 plus 16, and this is plus 52. This is equal to 0. So this implies here x4 is equal to minus 4. This is also another real solution here. Then let's solve for the other values of x in this quadratic equation. We have a is equal to 1, b is equal to minus 10, and we have c is equal to 52. So this implies that to solve for x5, x6, we apply the quadratic formula, which is minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c. All of this divided by 2 times a. So let's substitute the values of a, b, and c. So you will have minus 10, then plus or minus the square root of b squared, this is minus 10 squared, subtract 4 times 1 times c, which is actually equal to 52. Everything here divided by 2 times 1. So let's proceed. Now here we have minus times minus 10, which is 10, plus or minus the square root of negative 10 squared, this is 100, subtract 4 times 52, this is actually 208, divided by 2. Now this implies that here we have 10 plus or minus. Now this is the same thing as 100 minus 208, which is minus 108. All this divided by 2. So here we have 10 plus or minus. We can express the square root of minus 108 as square root of 36 times 3 times minus 1. All this divided by 2. And this is equal to 10 plus or minus the square root of 36, this is 6. The square root of minus 1, this is I, then square root of 3. All this divided by 2. So this implies that here, this is the same thing as 2 into the bracket here, 5 plus or minus 3i square root of 3 divided by 2. So we simplify 2 and 2 here, so that now we have 5 plus or minus 3i square root of 3. So this implies that we have 6 solutions. We have 6 solutions to this problem. We have 6. And therefore, that implies that we have 6 solutions here, where we have x1 equal to 8. We have x2, x3. This is the same thing as minus 1 plus or minus 3i square root of 3. Then we have x4. This is equal to negative 4. And we have x5, x6. This is what we have here, which is 5 plus or minus 3i square root of 3. And these are the 6 solutions to this problem. So kindly follow the steps, like this video, and subscribe. Please like and subscribe.